Hi everyone, it's me. If you're new here, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I live here in the UK. And if you're not new here, hey, how's it going? It is pouring / sleeting outside. I don't know if you can hear it. It is absolutely disgusting out. Today I wanted to share 16 British things that sound fake but are actually true. So without further ado, let's go. Number 1, receiving threatening letters. Now this of course are the threatening TV license letters, which is actually kind of 2 points. Number 1, you have to pay a license to watch TV. That in and of itself is strange. But what I actually wanted to talk about were the letters that you receive if you haven't paid for that license. So maybe you just haven't paid for it, or maybe you don't watch TV and you get these letters. When I first read one, I was shocked. A TV license is not something that we do in Canada, in the US, so that was strange. But then these letters were just something else. And the first time reading one of these letters, I thought I was going to be arrested. But they are genuinely vicious all over a TV license. Number 2, prepaid energy. Yes, your house can be pay as you go. My first flat actually had this setup. I'd never seen it before, but I remember there was like this big plastic key and you'd have to take the key to like a convenience store, an off license, load money onto the key, come back home, put the key in like your energy thing, and you're like prepaying for energy. God help you if you forgot and let it lapse. But I'd never seen that before. I'm sure there's like more simpler ways to do this now. But back then, back when I lived in this flat, never seen it before, and I had to do it literally going to a convenience store and stuff. It was wild. Number 3, I would like to call this chapter, why are they dancing like that? And yes, of course, I'm talking about Morris dancing. If you had shown me a photo of Morris dancing, of the outfits, you know, they've got like the sticks and there's bells, and they're dancing around on a street, usually at some sort of fair or whatever. If you show me photos, I would have thought, oh, that's like a cute thing from 100 years ago that people don't do anymore, and that would be wrong. Every time I see Morris dancing in the wild, usually like at some sort of festival or sort of like community event, every time I see it, I can't look away. I love that people still do it because obviously it has its origins, you know, in British history, and I love that people keep that alive. Watching it, it doesn't look real. Number 4, something that's very important to me, and that is the meal deal economy. Now, British people take meal deals very seriously. There are right and wrong answers. So obviously for a meal deal, you get your drink, you get some sort of side, and you get a main, and it's a set price, right? Not something that I ever had in Canada or in the US, but it is everywhere here. Basically like every supermarket, even Boots does it. But the question is, what combination of items do you select? And there's wrong answers. Do you go smoothie, sandwich, crisps? Do you go fruit juice, one of those little pasta pots? Maybe a little fruit pot? It's all very serious business, and I love that people basically like gamify the system. Like you have to pick the most expensive items in each category. It's just incredible. If my counting is still correct, number 5, this one's called 90-second flight. Yes, you heard that right. The UK hosts the world's shortest commercial flight in the Orkney Islands. Yeah, it's 90 seconds. 90-second flight. Incredible. Now the flight is between Westray and Papa Westray. Probably said that wrong, don't worry about it. But it is a 90-second commercial flight, shortest in the world. Congratulations, the UK. Doesn't sound real, but it is. I think the shortest flight I've ever taken is probably like, that's a good question. Maybe Toronto to Orlando, Florida, which is like 2 hours. Or maybe like London to Florence. I did that one. That one's pretty short, but even still, it's long enough that you can watch a movie. So it's not that short. Number 6, something that has always surprised me. It always feels fake, but I'm so happy that it's true, and that is walking through a stranger's field. Of course, we are talking about public footpaths or like the public right of way. It's something that I wasn't familiar with when I moved here, and it's just It's wonderful. I'm very thankful that even though this sounds fake, it is real. It felt so strange the first time walking through someone's literal farm because there was like a public footpath, a public right of way, and you're just like walking through this farm. It feels weird. It feels like I shouldn't be doing it. It feels like I'm gonna get arrested, but it is legal, it is accepted, it is real, and absolutely wonderful. And I really do hope this sort of concept is protected forever. One thing that's not fake is the UK has A+ mattresses, and today's video is sponsored by Emma Sleep. I got the Emma Hybrid ThermoSync mattress and I love it. It has infinity pocket springs for comfort and support no matter what position you sleep in. And it has ThermoSync technology for temperature regulation, so no more sweaty nights, which honestly is huge for me because not gonna lie, I am a sweaty sleeper. Plus, it was rated a best hybrid mattress by Ideal Home, making it the top choice for a comfortable night's sleep. Emma Sleep comes with a risk-free 200-night trial to make sure it's right for you, plus free delivery and returns. Make sure to use my discount code ADVENTURES. You're gonna get 5% off. Plus, that's on top of Emma's winter sale, which has up to 30% off on their website. Number 7, not a real animal. Did you know that Scotland's national animal is a unicorn? Because that is incredible. When I first heard this, I thought it was like a cute little joke that Scottish people play on foreigners, because let's get real, wouldn't be the first time. But no, it is actually true. Scotland's national animal is a unicorn. A+. As a Canadian, I gotta be honest, I'm very jealous. Canada has wonderful wildlife, so many interesting kind of like cool animals we could choose as our national animal. Polar bears, grizzly bears, loads of bears, moose. Moose are absolutely huge. I personally love the Canada lynx because they're just such interesting creatures. And what did Canada pick as our national animal? Thanks, Canada. Number 8, is that Hogwarts? Schoolhouses like at Hogwarts are a real thing. Again, when I heard this, I thought it was a cute little joke. Play it on the foreigner, they won't know any better. But it is actually true. My partner actually went to a school where all the kids in like that year were separated into their own houses. And when I learned that in that moment, unbelievably jealous. Back in Canada, I went to just a regular old high school, public high school, mixed girls and boys, no uniforms, and certainly no houses. Number 9, a British thing that sounds fake but is actually true. We're gonna call this That's It. Did you know the UK is the winner of the shortest war in history? Because I did not know. So apparently this happened in August of 1896 between the United Kingdom and the, excuse the pronunciation, Sultanate of Zanzibar, lasting between 38 and 45 minutes, making it the briefest recorded conflict. Excuse the pun, but just to sort of kill this lighthearted vibe, sorry, but it's part of this point. Apparently there are about 500 Zanzibar casualties and only 1 British sailor was injured. Number 10, oh no, I'm in trouble. A British thing that sounds fake but is true is that tutting is a socially meaningful sound. And it's used in honestly so many different scenarios. I think foreigners may have the opinion like, oh, it's just a sound, it's just like maybe like a knee-jerk reaction British people make, you know, that sort of tutting noise, but it actually is very meaningful and it's very serious. And it should not be ignored. If you've done anything that's rude or inappropriate or annoying, or you've been rude to somebody else, maybe a different British person might tut at you, it's a real sound, it's very meaningful, don't ignore it, because it's almost never used without real meaning. Number 11, I weigh 8 stones. That's not true, I don't know stones as a measurement, but that's what we're talking about, that many British people still weigh themselves in stone as a measurement. And it has never made sense to me. In Canada, we typically use pounds, at least my family always used pounds, and if you've ever had maybe body image issues, I know what my weight should be in pounds. There's a lot of like emotion kind of connected to that. When I came to the UK, most people I know either use stone, which I still don't understand, or kilograms. So now I weigh myself in kilograms, but I have no like emotional connection to it. I know I could just convert it to pounds. but I'm leaving pounds in the past. I weigh myself in kilograms. I can keep an eye, you know, if it's low, if it's high, if it's like standard, but I have no emotional connection to it because that's not the measurement I used when I was a teenager. Does that make sense? I'd be curious though, if you've watched this long in the video, leave a comment down below. Do you use stone? I keep meeting people that do reference things in stone, like typically their weight. Not a whole lot of other things in stone, but leave a comment down below. Do you still use stone? Because I don't get it. Number 12, let's just say crazy long. The longest place name in the UK has 58 letters. Yes, you know the one. I'm not going to try and say it because that would just be awful.
But in the sunshine in northwest Wales at RAF Mona, just up the road from Llanfair Pwllgwyn, Gellgogera Quindrobwll, Llantysilio Gogogoch, the temperature got to 21 Celsius.
Any more passengers for Llanfair Pwllgwyn, Gogerydd, Quindrobwll, Llantysilio Gogogoch? Anybody?
From my understanding, it's a place in northern Wales. I love Wales. Northern Wales looks the closest to like the Lord of the Rings, like the Shire, aside from going to New Zealand. I love Northern Wales, absolutely beautiful, but the Welsh are a very unserious people. Case in point, they named a place that is 58 letters. Why would you do that? The Welsh simply said, why not? Number 13, a British thing that sounds fake but is actually true. We're just gonna call this moo. When I read this, I thought, this can't be true, right? Surely not. But apparently cows moo in regional accents like humans do. So apparently from people much smarter than I am, farmers and language experts have observed that British cows develop regional moo accents influenced by their local environment, social learning within their herds, and close bonds with their farmers, leading to variations in pitch and tone across different regions. Apparently this is something that is observed in birds. Like birds can have regional sounds depending on where they're from and how they interact with their environment. And now people are saying that cows have the same thing, which is just fascinating and adorable. Something that sounds fake is toad in the hole is a real meal. And thankfully it's true because it's delicious. If I ever have it, I usually just buy it like from the store. You can get really nice ones. You just pop in the oven. You don't have to do anything. I did actually make it for the first time, like myself. Actually, when I was back in Canada, I made it. It's pretty simple. There's not a whole lot of ingredients. And it was tasty. Would I make it again myself? Probably not when it's so simple and it's really nice from the supermarket. But either way, toad in the hole, I love it. Apparently it's named this way because the little sausages like peeking out of the batter apparently look like toads like peeking out of their burrows. A bit of a stretch, but honestly, absolutely delicious. If any foreigners are watching, if they've made it to this far, hi. Hope you love the UK as much as I do. If somehow you've not had toad in the hole before, please rectify that. Number 15, a thing that sounds fake but is painfully true. Breaking your leg for cheese. This, of course, is the very infamous cheese rolling competition. Every time I see a clip of this, my stomach drops. People yeet themselves down a very steep hill, okay? This is not some rolling, gentle hill, right? This is like a cliff. They yeet themselves down, essentially a cliff, chasing a rolling thing of cheese. It's unbelievable. It's incredibly British and also terrifying. Anytime I mention cheese rolling or like weird British competitions, because there's loads of them, I always get comments from people being like, oh, you should do the cheese rolling competition. You should sign up. You should try it. Do you want me to die? Number 16, let's call this cheers. One thing that sounds fake but is true, there are British pubs open and serving that are older than my country. For reference, sorry, I gotta move. I'm losing all feeling in my legs. For reference, Canada got our iconic maple leaf flag in 1965. So the fact that there are British pubs that are older than my entire country is honestly wonderful. I love the history here, and preserving the history, protecting it is absolutely wonderful. It's really hard to comprehend the difference in like age and history between the UK and Canada or even the US. But honestly, it's one of the things I love most about here. There's so much history, and there's so much like living history, like Morris dancing like old pubs that people are protecting. Cheese rolling even. I'm very grateful that British people work very hard to protect their history and their culture. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to watch something else, maybe learn a little bit, how about this one, British military inventions? But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!